dear viewer, welcome to yet another episode of our family talk show here at Church of Uganda Family TV. My name is Clare Bwenje, your world's favorite host. Today in the studio we have a great guest. I know you will be blessed, you'll be excited. Welcome back from Namonyo. Yeah, Mother's Day. I know you were blessed because we gave you everything, all the details right here at Church of Uganda Family TV. Welcome back, and I pray and hope your day is really nice and the month is going on well. Today our topic is my money or your money. You've heard people say my money is my money and your money is my money. Osh! Today Paul Namonyo is our guest and he is here to discuss this. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me welcome Paul Namonyo. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Claire.
Pleased to have you here.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah, you will tell us whether your money is our money or your money is your money.
Wow.
Anyways, before that, please say hello to our viewers and then we quick start this.
Hello, viewers. My name is Paul Namonyo, like she has rightly said it.
Wow, I'm glad.
I'm a married man.
Yeah.
We've been married this month. We make 8 years. And we've been blessed with children, 4 of them, 2 girls, 2 boys. I do serve at Compassion International, and I also am involved with ministry at Thornycroft Chapel Chagwe as a missions and evangelism coordinator. I'm very glad to be here, and I hope we can have an interactive engagement.
Wow. Well, thank you very much. Actually, I understand this month you're making 8 years in marriage.
Yes.
Oh my
8 years.
God,
8 years.
that's many congratulations in advance.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we have missed your wife. I know.
Yeah.
She was meant to be here.
Yes, she was.
But regardless, you're representing her so well.
I hope I will do a good job.
I believe you will. So for starters, in your home, is your money or our money?
In my home or our home, my money is our money.
Oh.
Her money is our money.
Wow, you're the lucky one.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
And this actually started way back in the times of dating, and we've not had a big challenge around that. We engage from that perspective of monies that come through are monies that are supposed to help us grow together, support children, and also support even those that are beyond the nuclear family. So our money is our money.
Oh,
yeah.
You're the lucky ones. Praise the Lord Jesus. Hallelujah. Anyways, that was just an icebreaker.
Yeah.
So straight to our topic.
Yeah.
My money, our money. It's a question. So how does money affect our relationships or marriage?
How does money affect marriage? I'll limit it to marriage because I'm coming from a point of marriage. There are 2 things, there are 2 extremes, the good and the bad. You can say the worst or the best. And how money affects marriage is in a way that you make a choice actually from the beginning. You choose to be either side. You should not be found on a lukewarm kind of space. So, and sometimes there is a quote that has come through a couple of times, even silence is a choice that you have made. So when you choose to be silent on aspects of money, first of all, money is a very controversial issue. It has caused more problems than we can ever imagine.
Yeah,
we've seen marriages break as a result of money. And I'll tell you, even coming in here to discuss it had me have a bit of goosebumps. But back to the question of Claire. My own opinion about whether money breaks or makes, I want to believe that is where we're headed with the question. It's a point of a choice that you make. And many times we do forget about the journey towards marriage. When we are dating or courting, there are certain habits that come off us every now and then. When you look at how I used to eat when we're dating, it is, I think, 3 times either worse or better than I used to be. Even the way we manage our finances is actually something that I think we need to pay attention to. And many times when you're dating, we focus on the emotional aspect, we focus on the issues of the heart, and we forget that money is actually a very, very big fuel factor in making or breaking marriages. So I've gone around the question, but if you ask me whether money makes or breaks, I would not be sided with one end. I would actually leave it at a point of debate and discussion, because there are pools. You could find yourself on the other side, and you could also find yourself the other side. But it takes two to tango, that Spanish dance. So two adults, woman and man. It comes from a point of friendship. In fact, when I was thinking about the question, why would money actually cause problems? When you're dating this lady or the gentleman, money wasn't actually the fuel. You are not attracted to them because of money. Why should it then be a problem when you're married? It should actually be used as a means of exchange, a medium of exchange.
Yeah.
So I've moved around that question so that I don't commit myself to one side and you come hard on me, like calling me all sorts of names. So it's a journey that takes two to tango, and I believe once you get to the drawing board, you can actually make the best use of the monies in the family setting, in the marriage setting. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Paul. And I like it when you say that money is a medium of exchange. It just means. But I'm also, I'm just got thinking. Would you be okay, give your example. Would you be happy in your marriage if there is no money?
No, not at all. I wouldn't be.
Yeah. And would you be happy
Yeah.
if there was money in your family, in your home?
If there was no money, I would actually be at a point of struggle. Money is needed. It's actually a need every now and then. If you do not have finance to manage a relationship, you will not actually marriage relationship. You will not be able to actually pay for the subscription that you have for you to access us here. If DSTV has cut you off, you will need funds to actually, pay for the service. Now, back into the aspect of money. Is it needed? Yes, it is. What are you going to feed this lady? When you went and promised the father to this girl that you're going to take care of her, what are you going to use to take care of her? You're going to use the media. You promised them. You may not have said you're going to use money, but behind your mind, you were thinking about a certain level of amount that you would need to sustain this lady. I'll tell you the truth, this girl that you married, or the lady that you married, they did not lack food at home. They didn't lack money, they had it. But because you wanted to work with her, primarily love as the primary goal, you took on the responsibility, a salient responsibility that would speak into expenditure. So friends, Claire, the question that you ask, is money needed? Is it relevant? It is.
Yeah.
It is very relevant. If you do not have money, you're going to actually struggle. What are you going to leave on that table? Do you know that there are many people that have actually run out of marriages because of money? And so for me, not to idolize money, I come in a different perspective.
Exactly.
I use money as a means of exchange. I do not worship money. If I do not have it, I will not lose sleep. The sleep I will lose is so that I can work extra hard and I'll be able to provide for my family at home. Once you're able to provide the basics, food, health, and you're able to provide occasionally opportunities to go out and have fun, I believe a woman would be at a place of peace. They will not actually demand for so much. And I'll tell you, many times we idolize man and think it's the ends in the means. I don't think it is. There is a lot to do with emotion and also understanding involved in these issues of money.
Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very, very much, Paul. And I really love what you're talking about, that we shouldn't idolize money.
Yeah.
Too much of everything is always bad.
Absolutely.
You know, too much love for money, it can actually destroy your family.
Absolutely.
We've had people who are living in very good houses, have everything, but are not happy in marriage. Meaning money is not the end in the means.
Yes.
So I really like that, and thank you very much. So how can one manage money or finances in marriage?
How can one manage money and finances? Again, I think humanity gets out to usually address the effects, and we forget about the root causes. Now there are causes and there are root causes. I'll take you back to the time of dating or courtship. Was money a very fundamental, or is that what you're looking out for in this gentleman? I believe you felt...
let me answer actually.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
It wasn't.
Yeah, because I remember, even when you're dating, you can't just walk. You don't even want to get a taxi or something. You want to walk.
Yeah.
So like money is not,
Yeah. It's not
a
top priority.
It's not a top priority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's from that point of understanding the root causes to the problems. We run so fast to fight effects, and we don't pay attention to the root causes. When you're dating this lady, this beautiful lady, this handsome man, you were not actually focusing on finance. It was issues of the heart. The times you would call and your phone would burn out, Nokia 3310, those are the times you would load and you would actually wait for the midnight hour. They were charging, I think, 1 shilling per minute, and you would burn your ears. Money wasn't the case. It wasn't. Why would it be the situation that drifts you away? And I know as we engage, we will be sharing a bit of what can help us, navigate through these strains of finance. The question again, if you can remind me again, Claire, I could have lost track.
Yeah,
yes.
how one can manage money or finances in marriage.
Yeah, I talk to people out there that are watching us right now. People are broken.
Absolutely.
People are broken. Money in marriages has caused problems. We hear people that, I'll actually share a very, very recent example I came across in the media. There is a gentleman who walked with his wife from the time of a bicycle, okay? They've now grown wealth together, and this woman has been the fuel behind this wealth. And today, because they have lots of monies, the focus has actually drifted. He has actually moved on to see these young ladies, young girls, and he has actually abandoned his wife.
That's so
And
sad.
it's such a painful experience for the woman that actually built this man to where he is. And it takes me back to Proverbs 30:31. My blessing is actually tagged to the wife of my youth. My blessing is tagged to the woman. And many of us as men out there, we're actually having so many struggles because we are actually not coming out clean with our wives concerning finance. We are struggling with finance. And not to come from a point of sainthood. We've also had our own bottlenecks, but they've not been to the level of extremes. We have a way of managing them, and we get back to the drawing board. And so it's very easy for you to drift away if you do not have a bit of a moral fiber that was built probably many years ago. What did you used to see in your father, in your mother? Because these guys, our parents, are the best examples that can actually navigate, that can help us navigate life. So if you saw your dad to be the stingy one who was not declaring the wealth, who was not walking in honesty and trust with your mom, I think we inherit that without knowing. There are quite a number of idioms that come across that justify this statement. That a mango tree can never deliver a pop of fruit.
Absolutely. You
Yes.
cannot give what you don't
You
have.
you can't give what you do not have. And maybe a little bit of more, a bit of that is when we're invited to talk about these things, it's not because we're the best, by the way, it's not. We also have struggles. But there is one or two
Yeah.
things that one individual has actually noticed about a particular person for us to come and actually engage. None of us is actually saint. Struggles are there. But I believe it takes two to tango in dealing with this concern. Not forgetting your background, the root causes. Whenever you actually get challenges, go back to the drawing board. How did my dad treat my mother? What was their behavior around finance? Was it that whenever dad would get these huge amounts of monies, he would disappear and come back without money?
No, you have actually reminded me. I saw a meme on social media, and someone, like a man was telling the wife, I'm going to Namgongo, so I'm going to Namgongo for Matters Day. I'm going to return after 3 days.
Yeah.
So now what you have just said, like you have money and then you tell your children, I'm going for a trip,
Yes.
business trip, I'll come back after 3 days.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
It's a sad story.
It's a sad story.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
And yet we live with people that actually go through these struggles, and yeah, it's sad and unfortunate.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
But thank you very much, Paul, for sharing. And I just love what you started with, telling us it's dangerous, when you're dating, to prioritize money.
Yes.
Because honestly, money is here today and tomorrow it's not there.
Yeah.
Remember COVID?
Yeah.
Most people were struggling.
Yes.
Money was there.
Yes.
But during COVID time, people were struggling. Now imagine if you had fallen in love or if you had gotten married because of the money, what would happen
I know.
at that particular time? But now you have actually pushed me. I just want to ask you this question, which is a reality.
Yes.
Out there, you find people saying, asking questions, love or money? Would you marry someone because of love or because of money? And we've often had people saying, I would rather go and cry, in a Range Rover or in a very beautiful storied house
Yes.
than crying in Kafunda.
Yes.
So what's your take on that? We want to clear the air here.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Claire. That's I'll share a bit of. I do work with young men and women. I'm an advocate for children, and so many times I find myself in their spaces. There is a book that I can't remember the person that wrote it, but the person who wrote it is a Ugandan. The title I remember, Recipe for Disaster. It's a book that I think all level in Uganda does read as one of the books for literature. And I'll just break it down. In this book, we meet a young girl who was raised up so well with able parents that were able to actually pay the tuition and stuff like that. They met every need. Friends of hers, she actually got into peers that misled her. They were exposed, I think, beyond her exposure. So they kind of attracted her to their side. The girls that she was attracted to would actually go out to hang out, come back late, and she started actually lying through the tongue. The parents struggled with the behavior that had come of her, and eventually she succumbed to the pressures of her friends. Now they meet this loaded guy, like it would go. He's importing stuff from Dubai, he's on trips to China, the luxury life, living in different apartments. And she got to know that this guy was actually married. He had about four women. Little did she know that the more she was interacting with the friends who were wild, for lack of a better word, was dropping her closer to trouble. And the book Recipe for Disaster rotates around that. Like you can share with me, the end wasn't the best. It was actually Recipe for Disaster. This girl at the end of the day picks HIV At that time, HIV was quite a stigmatizing disease. She was so sick. And it's a real true story. So sick, she was all bones, she lost flesh, she lost the beauty because she actually jumped for the open roof, the luxury and the money, the trips. She actually started moving out of the country with this gentleman. And so friends, money, luxury, would I rather stay in a simple house, a simple hut, or for love's sake, or go, I would rather die in a Range Rover in that storied building. I think it's a place of wisdom. It's a place of wisdom, and it appeals to the conscious. It also appeals to the moral fiber. If you're a Christian, if you're a Muslim out there, and I know that family is not watched only by Christians, Muslims out there, you may the Lord appeal to your conscience deep down in your heart. Whatever choice you make, my brothers and sisters out there, know that there is a consequence. She lost her life prematurely. This girl was a very bright girl, and the parents had hope that she would become a doctor.
Oh no.
And it was such a shatter to them. You can imagine the investment a parent has actually put in a child, growing from toddler time to senior 6. I think she was in senior 6, senior 5. And they just go like that. They just go like that. And so I shared that story to just paint a picture of choices having consequences.
Wow.
So I cannot give you a straight answer. It's a matter of the heart. It's a matter of the conscience. If you have any conscience out there, then you'll make a very sane decision. Because I strongly believe that all the things that we see, the things that we pursue, the wealth we pursue, these cars are all vanity. All of them are vanity. And so when we get to that point of understanding, you will actually not pursue wealth, you will not pursue cars, you will not pursue the apartments. You're going to pursue purpose in this world. And when you pursue purpose in this world, you're going to actually find wealth and money and the luxury on your way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well answered. I think that the air is so clear. Thank you very much, Paul. And I like it when you say that all choices we make have consequences.
Yes.
If you choose to take life step by step,
Yeah.
you will yield the consequences.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I'm so pleased, and I know, hey, young ladies out there, you have something to learn today.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Family Talk Show takes a break. We return in a minute. Please don't go anywhere. Hi dear viewer, welcome back from that short break. This is the Family Talk Show in partnership with Life Ministry Uganda. We are here with Paul Namonyo, and our topic of discussion today is my money or our money. Well, today, before we went for a break, he was telling us that money is just a medium of exchange. We should not idolize money. And the one thing I really loved, he says that all the choices we make in marriage, in life, have consequences. So it's always important to be wise as you make your choices.
Sure.
Thank you very much. And it's a pleasure to have you here. Straight back to you.
Amen.
Yeah. So what are the red flags of money in marriage?
Red flags of money. Well, before we actually went for the break, there was a question that you pushed towards me about the luxury and stuff like that. The red flags are there. When you do not have money in marriage, there is a struggle. And possibilities of breaking up are very close. But personally, I believe, I said it takes two to tango before we went for the break. If you did love the wife or partner that you have, and love in its real sense, there is nothing that actually can fail love. I am a hopeless optimist that even in marriage, even in difficult situations, there is always a window of hope. And so my response to red flags in marriages that are there, and marriage just marriage and money. Probably that's why they don't give us the certificates after marriage. You actually get the certificates, and you go with it.
Actually, I think it's the only institution that you get the certificate there and then.
Yes, before actually working in it. And so that alone should remind us that marriage is work in progress. And if you ran into it thinking that you're going to come with your values and beliefs and systems to run it the way you're supposed to, the way you intend to run it, I think it's a wrong narrative that you're going to be starting. So red flags, and probably maybe this is another thing that many times we don't pay attention to. Where I belong, there is a bit of sometimes premarital counseling has been rushed because they want to offload, they have people that are coming, couples are coming, there is a lot of work. And so ample time may not be given to the people that are intending to get married. But I believe if ample time was given to these guys intending to get married, focus would actually be put on finance. Because with the little experience I've had in marriage, I know that finances are one of the biggest causes of rifts and drifts in marriages. And so if you can be able to work around finance, you would have actually done a great deal to your marriage. But yes, red flags are there. When you do not have money, you cannot tell your wife stories. They will not eat stories. They will not eat. They will not eat water. They will need a decent meal. The children have to go to school. And for me, that takes me to a point of hard work. If I realize that the finances are not measuring up, they're not commensurate with the needs of the house, as a man, I will actually work extra hard. And opportunities for creating side hustles is an opportunity that can actually address some of those red flags. But the red flags could also come from a point of, remember what I said, the root cause analysis. If you saw your mom and dad struggling with trust on issues of finance, friends, you may actually adopt that without knowing. You're going to act out, you're going to be the replica of your father and mother. Absolutely. If you saw your mother as a mentor, if you saw your father as a mentor, and they mentored you the wrong way, friends, you may actually be bound in that same kind of lineage. And so red flags are there, but it takes two to tango to address them from a point of love. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much, Paul. And I still like what you're talking about, how we grow up. When you grow up in an environment where they tell you money is bad, is a root cause of all evil. Honestly, even when you grow up, you look at money, even those who have money, you're like, those people, maybe they are thieves, you understand?
And I'll tell you, you may actually, I like what you just said. If you've grown up with the narrative in your mind that money is a root cause of evil, then you may be tempted to use that money to do evil. There are certain statements that we make in life, and they have a long-lasting impact on us. And some of us are tied into bad habits because we learned that money was the root cause of evil. And so we have taken money in that direction, and we're doing evil without knowing. And so deliverance for those who could be locked up in that space would be a possible solution. I cut you short, Claire.
No, it's okay. And I actually like that. And I also would love to comment on the issue of trust. I really love that. I've had a story of a married couple. Okay, the guy had, you have your money, you even build, and buy a plot of land, and your wife knows nothing. I mean, it's so dangerous. Like, on what grounds, honestly, are you building, your family, and what will your children learn from you? Like you're saying, when your children grow up knowing that, okay, daddy can even have land somewhere, or mommy can even have, some stuff somewhere, they will also, just carry that forward to their families. True. And no, this whole red flag will never end.
True.
So I think it's important as parents to know that our children are learning. Like, learning, copy and pasting
Yes.
everything that we do. So we must be careful. What are we downloading?
Exactly.
Teaching our children,
Exactly.
especially about money, because like you said, finance, oh my God.
Mm.
Most issues start from finance. When
Yes.
there is no money, everyone is so angry in
Yes,
the family.
absolutely.
But thank you, Paul. We are so glad to have you here and to learn from you. So would you advise marrieds to have separate bank accounts, joint accounts, or both? And what are your reasons?
That's a hard one. Would I advise marrieds? You dragged me into spaces of married people. First of all, I don't know how they met. I don't know how they dated, courted. And why I'm coming from that background is every marriage has its own gymnastics. Every marriage has dynamics that are known to them. But if you came from a point of purity, a point of honesty, your courtship, your dating experience, your early years of marriage, if there was this honesty and transparency, of course there are values while dating and courting, there are values that you see in a person before you actually approach them. And when you approach them, you're approaching them so that you can quantify or justify whether they are real. And many times, the story changes. Usually, this is a narrative I've heard from some friends of mine. The story changes in the first 5 years. The wild him comes out. The wild woman comes out in the first 5 years.
Yeah.
And some say that when you've done 5 years, it becomes a walk in the park. I want to challenge the people that have that school of thought because marriage is work in progress every day.
Absolutely.
But the question you put across, would I encourage people to have marrieds to have joint accounts, individual accounts, and all those kinds of accounts? I think
even both.
Even both, yeah. I think it gets back to the two of you. If you're comfortable with it, if you're not straining, you could actually have a joint account. But if it's going to be a root cause of trouble, I would encourage you to maintain your accounts the way you've been running. For us, we do have individual accounts, but on these accounts, of course, with the ATM, we have passwords. My wife knows every password to every account that I hold. My wife.
A deep one for a viewer.
Yes, and I know they will challenge me. If she was here, she would actually say it in camera. So mobile money, Airtel money, she knows every password. And my belief, my strong belief is I married a friend. That is where I come from, a friend. And the friend that I am doing life with for eternity. Until I do my last breath. This is my friend. And so, if anything, she's the closest to my heart. If anything happened to me, God forbid it, on my way back home, and she has, the ATMs are home. You know, there is a challenge at home, and she's struggling to pick the number and whatever. If I lost conscious, and it's that very account that had money, okay, to save me, and I've been holding it, like Usofia did in one of the movies in Nigeria. On his deathbed, he was actually holding he was holding a bundle of money and a check that they did not manage to, and undo it. I mean, I look at life in that way. And I come from a point of love, like genuine love, the reckless love. A love that men will actually question. Some may think I've been placed somewhere.
In a bottle.
Yeah, in a bottle, but
God, no.
but it comes from a point of a pure heart. And when my monies come through, she knows every penny. When I'm out actually doing work, I do a bit of consultancies, side hustles. She will know every penny that comes through because she's a friend. She's my very first accountability partner. In fact, the family I grew up in, the family of my dad and my siblings becomes secondary. This is my family. She's my number one. I know mom and dad, brought us up, but I'm very certain my wife becomes my number one confidant, my number one accountability partner, my number one friend. And so if I do not actualize that kind of relationship, it's me that loses out. So that's where I come from in that whole line of accounts and whatever. It is you people. You manage your finances. I wouldn't want to advise anybody here to go and create an account that brings funds together and it becomes the biggest struggle you have. So you go back to the drawing board, agree on what works for you. This may work for you, the other may not work for you, and so carry on. But I think it calls for a very high level of integrity, honesty, transparency. All those words may mean the same thing, but repetition is basically for emphasis. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Paul. And I just like what you are talking about, that what is comfortable for you, please go ahead, because there are some people who have opened joint accounts and they're doing quite well.
True.
And the opposite in this matter is also true. So I think what you say is really amazing. I just like that. So you're actually the lucky one that I've met today.
Wow.
Yeah, but other people say that money talks are usually so hard in marriage, especially if the woman earns more than the man. So how can you help a viewer out there to understand that your money is not your money, but our money?
Great. How do I help a viewer know that my money is our money? And my money is not just mine, but our money is our money. From that perspective of if you could just come back on that question.
Oh, okay. Money talks are usually hard in marriage, especially if the woman earns more than the man.
Yeah.
So how? Okay.
I get you.
Okay.
So if my wife, because this is a reality, in our first years, the 3 years of our marriage, that's 2015, 16, and 17. I earned fairly little money, but it's within that period that my wife lost a contract. And so it was a strain. We had 2 children, and it was a struggle, reality, by the way. But for me, what came out strong, I applied myself in the situation, in the time, and I had to create side hustles. I've been working with NGOs for a while, and so some of the things that we're preaching to the people that we're meeting in communities, I brought them closer. And along the way, I got to learn that you can never give what you do not have. Now, we were just giving people things that were not probably applicable to us. We're not applying them. So in the 3 years, I created 2 side hustles. I would actually come from Mbale using the YY. I would board at 3 a.m. and I would be in Kampala here because there is no traffic around that time. I would be in Kampala at about 6, like slicing the Ndi waters or the bells.
Oh, wow.
And I would get the fine shots. The fine shots are usually cut around 6 a.m. So I would get the best. I would go add value to them. And then I would sell guys that were my friends back in Mbale. That was one. And it created a bit of income to us. The second thing I did was to engage in I love cooking. So I did a bit of baking. I did pancakes, very tasty pancakes, and I sold them. And those would supplement the salary that I was getting. Now, the question is how did I manage? Did I have struggles? Yes, the struggles were there. And I take a struggle as an opportunity to engage. I take a challenge as an opportunity to engage. One wise man, one of my mentors said, actually he quoted his dad and said that when he was growing up, there was no room for you to justify a challenge. I'll bring it close to home and I'll echo out one example. Anything that does not have a brain, anything that doesn't have a brain, you're far better than it. So you don't come to me calling out challenges. You are supposed to create solutions. A vehicle has failed you. I mean, look around, think hard, and then ensure the vehicle is moving. You failed to split firewood. Think hard. How can you slice that wood? Something that does not have a brain cannot actually go above you. And so for me, I've worked with him for quite a long time, from 2015 up to now. And these are words that kept pushing me to the wall. And the mindset I had when I was doing the bell cutting, and then the pancake stuff. I did other things. I went into a bit of animal rearing. I did cucumber. I planted, what is this red fruit that is bitter?
Beetroot?
Yes, I did beetroots. I failed on beetroots, but they were all lessons that was school fees I paid in some of the flows I had. So for me, the question that you asked just offers me an opportunity to challenge status quo. I don't settle for the status quo. I would want to try as much as possible to apply the brain God has given me in creating a solution for myself and my wife and family, but also beyond my family, those that are close to us. Yeah.
So what really how do you advise a viewer to know that their money is not their money, but our money?
Their money is this is what I would tell a viewer. Friends, I'll go back to that, the root causes. When you approached this lady or this beautiful girl at that time, the money was not the priority like we've talked about earlier. So what advice would I give to you? I think you just need to go back to the drawing board. What was the intention? When you remember the kuhinjira, okay, the kuchala, all those things, what was running in your mind? And I would also want to remind you, especially those who are married in church and those religious spaces, the vows you made were honored by God. Every time you make your partner regret marrying you, you're actually causing more harm to yourself. The Bible reminds me that a man that finds a wife obtains favor from the Lord. Proverbs chapter 31, King Lemuel was actually pouring out a description of an ideal woman. Just imagine that woman supported with finances, with honesty, with transparency. Do you know where you would be? Behind every successful man I quote, there is a woman.
Hallelujah.
If you want to succeed in life, the argument that has been laid down by our forefathers is very true. If you make her happy, if you're transparent, and they don't need so much, by the way. They need words of affirmation, kindness, a few bucks left, right, and center, that chocolate. In fact, when you buy for her chocolate every now and then, the chocolate might actually get to her brain and she'll forget about the money for the kameza. And so it's a challenge to you, but it takes two to tango. And that would be my perspective on that point of engagement.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you very much, Paul, once again. And I actually like what you quoted at the start when you said that we must be problem solvers. And indeed problem solvers are in short supply. So if you're a problem solver, you have an opportunity. So I just like that. So thank you very much. And I know, dear viewer out there, you're encouraged to know that your money is not your money, it's our money. I pray the grace of God to help us and understand that. But I actually like that, and I'm reminded of a testimony. I would call it a testimony. When we were actually so young, I remember my mother would buy clothes. And when she would buy for us clothes, she just puts them there and all of us speak. And she would tell us, no one has a cloth here. Whether it's, a boy's trouser, put it on. It's like for all of you. So we grew up knowing that no one has a thing. It's for all of us. And now that I'm married, actually, I get to realize that no one has a thing. It's for all of us. Be it money, be it food, be it clothes. Okay, clothes sometimes. I can't imagine myself in a suit.
I know.
But I'm just, I just like that. It's important to know that when you're married, there is okay, even when you're in church, they usually tell you the I dies and now it's our. So literally everything becomes our.
True.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Yeah.
Just that was an addition.
Great.
So how easy, basing on your experience, how easy or how hard has it been for you in regards to handling money in your marriage?
Yeah, like money is a very, very delicate space, and it requires wisdom. And for me, I chose to trust fully. For some, it can be foolishness, but the Bible reminds me, because I use a lot of the Word of God in how I do the finances. And I take money as something that will actually come to an end. It's not something that is going to be there forever. Don't fall for that statement. I'm also wise at expending it. But how have we managed our finances? I come from that. I will reiterate the statement I've just said. The foolishness, the Bible says, for those who are on the journey of eternity, the foolishness of those perishing, the word of God is foolishness to those who are perishing, and wisdom to those who are walking in the direction of righteousness. Now, I take those words for word by word. The things that I've said, some of them might come off me to your mind as foolishness, but I've saved myself from a lot of pain. I've saved myself from struggles. I do lots of visits, field visits, that require me to be there for about a week. But there is no single day my wife has ever worried and got anxious that I'm in a certain space. She tells me this every now and then, that even if you went out of the country for a week, I would still be confident that you would still come back to me. Not just coming back to me physically, holistically. And so we've tried to build we are still in that innocence. For me, when money comes, it comes, and we put it on the table. We do overhead costs, education for the children, bills to pay, the circles that we are involved in, a bit of investment left, right, and center, and we spare some money to just have fun with the children once in a while, and we take them to spaces that they will also have an opportunity to remember. And so that question for me, like I said earlier, it takes two to tango, and for us living that thing out, we've actually been supporting some of our friends in aspects concerning finance, and we are glad that there are changes that we hear left, right, and center that come off the support we give them. But also the other thing that has helped us the more, when we moved from the east to the central, we did join a fellowship, the Home Builders Fellowship, that is supported by Life Ministries, and by the grace of God, we were leaders. And so we come from that point. As a leader, you're supposed, because everything rises and falls on leadership.
Absolutely.
Like John Maxwell says. And so we are very, very careful in treading. And so for us, it's been an intentional walk, it's been a deliberate walk, but more so also to counteract the root causes. We've been deliberate. With our children, we have been deliberate. We walk in transparency. They see us and they act us out a couple of times. When we are sad, they know. When we are excited, they know. And for us, it's a deliberate journey that we are walking with our friends, with the children. We want to be part of the change makers.
Wow.
Money is not the end in the means. Money is a medium of exchange.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much. We're actually left with a few minutes and to get out of here. And I want you to give your parting shots. But before you do, in just a few seconds, I would want you to just briefly share your story, how you are dealing with your money in your first years, and what you have learned and learned or relearned. And then you'll give us your parting shots, and then we'll sign out.
All right. So how we dealt with the money, like I said, 3 years when she lost a job, me, I would bring all the money on the table. And she finds me a very, very transparent person. That she knows when I'm attempting to tell a lie to her, my nose will shake and my lips will shake. And I will actually tell the truth the way it is. And so that is a work that for me, it was when I married her, I married a friend, and she's still a friend, and she will always be a friend.
Amen.
I know that opportunity may afford her a time to come and justify the statements I've made, but I know that wherever she is, she's a friend. And so when it comes, it comes. When the per diems have been given to me, they come the way they are. Sometimes per diems in my past organization where I worked before, you would get per diem before on your way to field, and so you would actually send some of it back home. She knows every penny.
Wow.
And so for me, 8 years, I don't think I can go back to that rhetoric that runs left, right, and center. When you have so much, I mean, my children, my wife, for me, that is the backbone. I'm interested in ensuring that they're well. And so finance, may I take it as a medium of exchange? I do not attach lots of values to it. Today you'll have it, tomorrow you won't have it. In the event you're away, there is a legacy that you're building. And how will your children remember you?
Wow.
What will they tell? And I want to speak into their marriages, that there will be better husbands, there will be better wives than I was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much. Your parting shots, and then we close the show.
My parting shot out there is finances, money issues to do with money are real. There are red alerts, there are struggles left and right. Money has caused very many problems. In fact, this week I was contemplating a woman in my own wilderness, my wild thoughts. A woman, and I shared this with my wife, like a woman, Eve, caused problems to Adam. Delilah caused problems to Samson. and the list goes on and on. But we see a transformation in the New Testament. In the New Testament. Even in the Old Testament, Proverbs 31, that kind of woman, you and I can actually make them become, they can actually thrive out of the support. And the parting line that I would want to share with us here, when you try to pull down your wife and you conceal finance and stuff like that, please know that you're harming yourself, you're damaging yourself, because your blessing is tagged to the woman that you married as your wife. Your blessing is tagged to her. And every time she finds concerns, queries in the direction of finance, just know that your days are numbered. So support her, encourage her, and you're going to thrive. You'll not have struggles.
Wow, thank you very much, Paul. It's been a great time. Dear men, your blessings are tagged to us women. I just like that. Our topic today was my money or your money. And during this show, he told us that we should not really idolize money. Money is just a medium of exchange. So let's learn to just, use it as a medium of exchange, not to idolize it. Thank you very much. It's been a great pleasure to have you here. And to you, our dear viewer, thank you for loving us and keeping it Church of Uganda Family TV. Lastly, I would love to wish my father, my dad there in Rukunjiri, a happy birthday. We are celebrating you. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much for loving Church of Uganda Family TV and the Family Talk Show at large. We sign out from here. We love you. Ciao.